This is your Friday Refresh brought to you by Liberte Ministries. Visit TravisLovesHaiti.com to find out how you can supply Bibles to those who long to read the Word of God and learn more through a visit to your church. A couple of years ago, I came across a small pamphlet called The Cookie Under the Doormat. The interactive story inside goes something like this. Think about two kids. You pick the ages, you pick the gender in your mind. They are simply, for ease, called A and B. The first day, A and B bring you a cookie. They both want it, and you have to decide who gets it. Of course, you want to either break it in half or say that neither is allowed to have it, but you must choose. So let's say that you chose A. It's awkward, but you just give it to one child. If this scenario repeated itself the next day, you would obviously want to give it to B, but that's not allowed. You once again have to give it to A. After a couple of days of only giving it to A, you're presented with the same problem, but this time it is B with another child named C. When the cookie is found, this time you give it to C. And for a few weeks, it's only given to A or C. B is always left out. How do you think B would feel? Do you think that they would eventually stop asking you? Of course they would. They would have gotten the message that what they want is not important. Now let's leave that story and think about you for a moment. Someone gives you money to do something nice for yourself, and you're about to when a friend calls and tells you that their car broke down and needs repair, but they don't have the funds. But it's exactly the amount of money your other friend gave you. What do? And then another night, you planned an easy evening of relaxation, a movie or popcorn or hot chocolate, and then a friend calls you and immediately needs a babysitter. What do? Maybe another scenario plays out in which you put someone else's needs over yours. Here's where it gets personal. Think of what you looked like as a child. What would you be wearing? How would you have fixed your hair? What kind of shoes would you have on? You can see you, right? Me too, only your name is B. You've spent a lot of years taking care of others, A and C and maybe even E, F, and G, but what have you done to take care of B? What have you done to take care of yourself? You see, B wants a cookie too. B wants their needs met. In our Southern Christian environment, we may feel shame for not taking care of others' needs above our own all the time. One might respond with verses that say pretty directly to bear one another's burdens. I'm not saying that you should never put others' needs above your own. What I'm simply wanting you to see today is that your needs and your desires are also important. While we are quoting verses, Philippians chapter 2, verse 4 says, don't merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interest of others. Mark 12:31 says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And even in Luke 5:16, we're told that Jesus often withdrew to the mountain to pray. He sometimes took a break from others' needs to take care of himself. Sometimes we have to say no when others attempt to steal every moment of our day. You don't have to make excuses. You don't always have to tell them why. As my friend and colleague Karen Mann has reminded me, no is a complete sentence. What I've learned is that we cannot pour from a pitcher that is empty. We must take some time for ourselves so that we have enough energy and love to pour out to others when they do have a need. So we can't forget the B inside us that has been rejected. It will lead us to do things for people and to give to people begrudgingly. It will lead to frustration and bitterness. Doing good for others with bitterness in our heart won't be good for anyone in the long run. So what have you done for B in the last few days or weeks? Isn't it time you give some attention to your needs? I think so. So go refill your cup today or this weekend. And that is your Friday Refresh.